Coming up on OU Nightly, a Norman Town Hall meeting to discuss where taxpayer dollars are going. The details ahead. Plus, a nationwide movement in the name of consumers. We have what it is and what it means for shoppers. And measles spreading across the nation, what Oklahoma health officials are saying. This is OU Nightly. Tonight, we begin with breaking news. Nationwide layoffs at the National Oceanic and Administration Agency and the National Weather Service are taking place as we speak. I'm Abby Hollinsworth.
And I'm Hallie McPherson. Here on campus, it's the National Weather Center, and we are being told from sources that layoffs have happened at the Weather Center. We currently don't have the total number of layoffs, but we will keep you updated as the story develops. Cleveland County taxpayers are coming together to discuss hot topics in Norman that they say will heavily affect you and your family. Let's get right over to OU Nightly reporter Abigail Franklin with more on this town hall. Abigail, taxpayers have a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. A lot of questions for sure for people here in Cleveland County, and that's exactly why Oklahomans for Responsible Economic Development, as well as Women in Action for All, are hosting this community town hall here in Norman tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. They're going to be discussing two pretty big topics here in the county that are affecting taxpayer dollars. So let's go ahead and start breaking that down for you. The first one is going to be the Arena and Entertainment District. It's been one of the pretty biggest topics here in Norman. You might recall Judge Jeff Virgin did deem the petition invalid. That petition originally was put forward to turn the vote back to the people related to the Arena Entertainment District. Rob Norman is the attorney on this case for the petition creators, and he's going to be presenting their plan to appeal. One of the second topics they're going to be talking about is a bond vote proposed by Moore Norman Technology Center. Cynthia Rogers is going to be presenting that. She's a professor at OU in the economics department, and we sat down with her recently to kind of discuss what Moore Norman Technology Center is asking for in that proposal.
It's an ask for voters to borrow $90 million over 10 years, and then voters would pay the principal, the $90 million, plus issuance costs, plus the interest. And that is through property taxes.
Now, I do want to mention that we did reach out to Rob Norman to also provide a statement related to what he is presenting, but unfortunately he was not available. Moore Norman Technology was invited to this town hall tomorrow. I also reached out to them for an interview to discuss the bond that they're proposing as well, but as of right now, we do not have an answer on either of those invites. But we're going to be following this story, so stick with OU Nightly. Live in Norman, Abigail Franklin, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Abigail. And today did kick off that early voting for the Moore Norman Technology Center bond. Early voting started at 8 a.m. and ends at 6 p.m. this evening. The last day to vote on this bond will be March 4th. And the weather has been warm all week, and it is starting to feel like summer.
But with the warmer temperatures and windy weather, your campus weather authority is tracking active fires across the state of Oklahoma. Let's toss it over to OU Nightly meteorologist Brendan Jackson with the latest.
Yeah, we're looking at quite a few fires across central Oklahoma as we speak. Many of these smaller brush fires, but we are looking at one somewhat larger fire that sparked up pretty recently down here southeast of Norman in Slaughterville. We are going to be keeping an eye on this in the near future here. Luckily, our temperatures are going to be dying off as we move later into the evening. We're down into the 60s here. Winds are going to be light as well, so not much to keep these fires going.
Tonight, investigators are looking into the death of a beloved actor. Clay Webster has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Today we learned that actor Gene Hackman is dead at the age of 95. Authorities say Hackman, his wife Betsy Arakawa, and one of their dogs were found dead Wednesday afternoon at their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. A Marine veteran and decorated actor, Hackman was known for iconic roles such as Lex Luthor in Superman and Coach Norman Dale in Hoosiers. No cause of death has been released, and officials are treating the case as suspicious. And overseas, Israeli officials say they will not withdraw troops from the Gaza-Egypt border. The announcement comes days before the end of Phase 1 of their ceasefire agreement with Hamas. The second phase of the ceasefire would end with full withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. Israeli officials want an extension of the first phase of hostage releases, but Hamas wants the second phase to begin as soon as possible. Negotiations are currently underway in Cairo, Egypt. And President Trump meets with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The two world leaders are meeting at the White House today to discuss steps towards a ceasefire in the Russia-Ukraine war. The meeting comes after rising tensions between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in recent days. According to Trump, a peace deal is on the way but not yet finalized. And President Trump will meet with Zelensky tomorrow to discuss a rare earth mineral rights deal. Abby, Hallie, back to you.
Thanks, Clay. An activist group is calling for a nationwide boycott Friday, February 28th, in what they're describing as an economic blackout. The organization, called the People's Union USA, is asking American consumers not to spend money for 24 hours. CNN reporter Lee Waldman has the details.
No spending for 24 hours. That's the message coming from consumer activist group The People's Union. According to its website, the so-called economic blackout is intended to show them who really holds the power. The effort is led by John Schwartz, a father from New York and founder of The People's Union. In his online bio, he writes, "If we stand together, we don't just demand change, we create it." This boycott comes as some are protesting retailers like Target for rolling back DEI programs.
They respond to one thing: money, dollars. And so many of us around the country said, well, let's flex our dollar power, because that is the only thing they listen to.
Anna Tuckman, a professor of marketing at Northwestern University, has researched the impacts of company boycotts in the past. She says this one is unique because it doesn't target one specific company.
The call isn't to boycott a single brand or a single retail outlet, but it's rather calling for consumers to shut down their spending altogether.
Frustration over high prices at retailers is a driving factor for Friday's economic blackout, but Tuckman says she isn't sure what impact the spending boycott will have on the issue.
There are other factors that influences the prices that consumers face. So whether this boycott movement will have a measurable impact on prices consumers face going forward, my prediction is that it's unlikely that we will see a measurable impact.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Here in Norman, two local businesses are taking part in this movement. One of those businesses being a coffee shop called Yellow Dog. The other local business participating is a bookshop called The Lore. As of now, these are the only businesses we know of locally. And new states reported cases of measles today. Find out which states after the break.
And what Oklahoma officials are saying about the active outbreak.
Graduation is right around the corner for seniors, which means it's picture time.
But one decoration for pictures could surprisingly have consequences. Coming up next.
The nation is seeing the largest measles outbreak in 6 years. OU Nightly's Cariana Gamboa is following the surge of cases in today's Health Beat.
Two new states reported cases today, while the number of illnesses continue to climb in southwestern states. Today's health officials confirmed an adult case in Kentucky and 2 new cases in New Jersey. Officials say they haven't found any connection to the outbreak in Texas, where 1 child has died from the virus. Texas and New Mexico are the first states to have reported cases, with 130 people affected. Here in Oklahoma, the State Department of Health says there have been no cases reported this year.
So with measles, you are infectious 4 days before your rash onset through 4 days after your rash onset. And there's a lot of opportunity for that infection to go undetected until that rash occurs, because individuals are having just normal flu-like symptoms.
The department says the virus usually presents itself with flu-like symptoms. National health officials say they are watching this outbreak closely, but, quote, "It is not unusual. We have measles outbreaks every year." The federal government is investigating $1 billion to to combat bird flu, which has caused a hike in egg prices in the U.S. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it plans to import eggs while providing relief to farmers work on a vaccine for the disease. Turkey has said it will send 15,000 tons of eggs to the U.S. through July. Good news, tea drinkers, there may be another health benefit to drinking the popular beverage. A new study suggests that brewing tea may help purify and keep heavy metals out of your water. Abby, Hallie.
Thanks, Cariana. It's approaching that time of year when seniors begin to take senior photos, but SGA's Sustainability Committee is raising awareness about the use of confetti in pictures. OU Nightly's Spencer Plato reports on a new campaign to reduce the littering on campus from senior photos.
Senior photos are a way to capture your time in college, but using confetti in your photos outside can be harmful to the environment.
One piece of confetti takes 1,000 years to break down, and that's not even considering all of the microplastics that can enter into nearby lakes and rivers.
OU's Sustainability Committee is hoping to stop the use of confetti in senior photos through a new confetti campaign.
The goal of our project is just to raise awareness about the negative effects and try and encourage students to use alternatives.
Signs will be posted around popular photo locations on campus and include alternative ideas such as flower petals, bubbles, or hole-punched leaves. Photographer Noah Bryan says he also recommends eco-friendly options for his clients.
Look for biodegradable or rice paper alternatives. No kind of plastic or anything that you would know is not going to break down easily. So they make them out of rice paper or bamboo or any of those sort of like thin materials that can dissolve.
The committee says OU has no policy on the use of confetti, but will be working with the university to post the signs and spread awareness.
And we want people to be able to take photos on campus and celebrate this achievement, but it is important to be environmentally aware and to take responsibility for the litter that you're creating.
Reporting in Norman, Spencer Plato, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Spencer. The committee's signs will be posted in multiple locations starting late March until May. And one local business is taking hot sauce to a whole new level.
The business is teaming up for a hot dog partnership that will leave your taste buds wagging. Up next.
And more on the fire danger across the state of Oklahoma, as well as the chance for some storms in the weekend and early next week. Coming up next. And welcome back to OU Nightly. Here as we take another look at those fires currently across central Oklahoma. This one down here near Slaughterville being the most large and pertinent, especially for us here in Norman. Luckily, the winds are taking the smoke from it the other way. You can see kind of the haze on the horizon out there from that fire. Unfortunately, it is very dry out there right now. Humidity at about 20%, so that's providing a little extra fuel for many of these fires. Tomorrow, we're going to see a bigger fire risk, however, especially in the southwestern part of the state. Now, that's going to be a result of higher winds that are going to start coming up from the southwest, changing directions a little bit. Tonight, low 45 here in Norman, 43 in Oklahoma City, 42 in Tulsa, mostly right around 40 for much of the area. Highs tomorrow back up into the 70s. We're going to see those really nice conditions continue once again. Now, looking ahead, those higher temperatures and those stronger winds are going to cause some more issues with pollen. We're already seeing that today. It's going to become more of an issue here in the future, especially with tree pollen we're seeing as the biggest threat here right now. Now, taking a little look further ahead into the weekend, we see this cold front kind of moving down from the north. That's going to drop our temperatures a little bit on Saturday. Now, moving into Sunday, we're going to see this new low pressure system kind of moving its way across from the Colorado Rockies over here into the Central Plains. On the warm front side, we're going to see the chance for some showers and thunderstorms here. Now, On Tuesday, we're going to see the chance for some severe weather as the next system moves through. Luckily for us here in Oklahoma, it should stay for the most part down to the southeast. We could see a little bit of severe weather in the southeastern part of the state, but likely it should be down towards Louisiana. Now, looking at 7-day forecast, we see that cool off over the weekend. Chance for rain, going to bring those temperatures back up on Tuesday before dropping off again once the next cold front moves through.
Okay, so how much rain are we going to be seeing this weekend?
Probably not a lot. It kind of depends on where these storms go. They're going to be pretty isolated, so that's what we're looking at.
Thanks, Brendan. A local hot sauce business is making an impact in the community with a twist. Rescue Dog Hot Sauce partners with local animal shelters to host adoption events, proving that a little heat can go a long way. Tim Heitzman, the founder and owner, is not short on love for his furry friends. Right now, he has 6 dogs in his home, but they all aren't permanent residents. Heitzman says the dogs are his top priority.
We want to make money selling our own products. Finding those dogs' homes is just as important. And so that's why, for us, partnering with rescues just kind of makes more sense than partnering with just about anyone else.
Rescue Dog Hot Sauce will soon be in Norman grocery stores and will be at the Norman Farmers Market, which kicks off in April. And it's always nice for fans to see their favorite athletes take their skills to the big leagues.
And it's even better when they're representing the Crimson and Cream.
Unlike this former Sooner who switched out his colors for another and returned to Lloyd Noble last night to take on his former team. But there was nothing friendly about this matchup from player and fans alike. Next up in sports. Hello, I'm Brooke Griggs, and it's time for sports. OU basketball fought down to the wire against a familiar face in Kentucky last night. OU Nightly's Aiden Tyler has more on the game.
Former Sooner Otega Oweh and the Kentucky Wildcats took on the OU men's basketball team Wednesday night, and Oweh showed no remorse for his former squad as he scored the game-winning basket for the Wildcats, leading to an 83-82 Sooners loss. Now his former teammate Jalen Moore still says he appreciates the friendship they have.
It's cool playing with Otega. It's my brother. I wish him nothing but success. It was good just going at it, being able to compete, and that's it.
And the 83-82 Sooner loss, highlighted by Otega Oweh's big night with 28 points, really diminishes the Sooners' chances of making the NCAA tournament. Head coach Porter Mosier knows that at the end of the season, a loss like this really, really hurts.
I can't say enough about our guys' effort, how tough they were, how they battled back, played the right way, and just competed and believed. And I'm hurting for them. That they fell 1 point short in this game. But we got to channel it and turn right around and go back Saturday and channel that towards Ole Miss.
Reporting from the Lloyd Noble Center, Aiden Tyler, OU Nightly.
And a heated ending led to a heated emotions last night after an OU fan threw a beer can towards Kentucky players, leaving the floor. OU Athletics released a statement today voicing they do not condone this type of behavior and are reviewing footage to find everyone involved, plus speaking with the SEC on the matter. Better luck to OU women's basketball as they travel to Florida today against the Gators. Oklahoma looks for its 6th straight win and to break a tie against Alabama for the 5th spot in the SEC. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. And the NFL Scouting Combine is officially in motion with 3 of OU's finest ready to make their professional debut. Danny Stutzman and Ethan Downs begin drills today, while Billy Bowman Jr. takes the field tomorrow. Onto the diamond, Sooner baseball swept away the competition once again after defeating Texas Southern in a 2-game midweek matchup. OU now is 8-0, the program's best start since 2013, all because they're one with the ball.
I thought we had some really good at-bats early. I mean, we scalded 2 balls in the first, and then you start trying, and when you try in this game, you fail. You just got to try to execute, separate balls from strikes, and hit balls hard. You can't get hits, and you can't make them swing and miss when you're on the mound. You just got to make sure you throw the ball at the target because that's what the game's telling you to do.
OU softball fans, mark your calendars. The team will play 5 games at Love's Field, starting with Marshall tomorrow. First pitch takes place at 1:45 p.m. Hallie, Abby.
Thanks, Brooke. Forget Are You Smarter Than a 5th grader? How about Smarter Than a 5-year-old?
Stick around for a story about a little boy who joined one of the most exclusive organizations up next.
I'm Elle Gedman with breaking news just coming in. Employees within NOAA are currently being laid off. A source within the agency confirms the workers being let go are on probationary status. These layoffs are part of nationwide federal workforce cuts being carried out by the Trump administration's DOGE. NOAA oversees the National Weather Service along with other climate and environmental agencies. We'll be following this story as it develops. For now, Abby, Hallie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Elle. Bryce Bartlett isn't just any regular 5-year-old. His IQ is off the charts, measuring a shocking 140.
And to put that into perspective, Albert Einstein's IQ is around 160.
The little one is on a different page than most 5-year-olds, literally. Bryce Bartlett read 100 books in a single month last July.
And has now joined the exclusive organization Mensa for people who test in the 98th percentile or higher on an IQ test.
He's got a bright future ahead of him. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Abby Hollinsworth.
And I'm Hallie McPherson. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.